This just in, Michigan, champions of the Big Ten Tournament Championship out in Gainesbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. As John Blackwell, who had a game-high 18 points for the Badgers, needed at least 2 more to tie things up with less than 30 seconds left to go. Badgers ended up fouling and getting shots from the Wolverines down the stretch to make it 59-53. Wisconsin's John Tonje, who averages close to 20 points per game, held to 9 points here as Dusty May, the second head coach to win the Big Ten tournament in his first season with the school. Last time it happened, Brian Ellerby also did it with Michigan in 1998. I'm Tommy Tran, now joined by Kyle Boone as you're taking a look at the trophy presentation for the champion Wolverines. Kyle, what stood out to you? Oh, lo and behold, another close win for Dusty May and his guys.
Exactly that, Tommy. You know, this Michigan team has no other way but playing close games this season. You look at the record this season, they've won 12 games by 5 or fewer points, end up winning this game by 6. But this was a really impressive win for the Wolverines. 3 wins in 3 days, winning the Big Ten Tournament Championship. And, you know, I think for the Wolverines, it's encouraging because the way they ended the season was, well, a little bit discouraging, losing 3 consecutive games, ended up playing their way out of the Big Ten regular season title. So, you know, I think if you're Michigan and you're Dusty May, looking at what they've accomplished this week, going into the NCAA tournament, you have to be encouraged, and I think if you're a Wolverines fan, really pleased with what you've seen from this Michigan team, especially under first-year coach Dusty May.
What stands out to you about the way May coaches this team and has an approach and had an instant impact, obviously winning the conference tournament title?
Yeah, I think the versatility in which this team plays is probably the most impressive, right? Because they have 2 7-footers on this roster, Tommy, one in Vlad Golden and another in Danny Wolf, who play completely different and, you know, kind of bucking traditional norms of how teams are playing right now. They play both of those 7-footers on the same floor frequently during this season, and it's been really successful for Michigan. So, you know, I think they have a lot of depth on this team. They've got some experience. Trey Donaldson is a guard who, you know, has had some really high moments for this Michigan team. So there's a lot of pieces on this team. They can win in a lot of different ways. We saw today up and down the lineup, they don't really rely on any one guy on any given night. There's a lot of depth. There's a lot of versatility. I think that's most impressive, what you watch from this Michigan team.
As we are just minutes away from the selection show on CBS and Paramount Plus, you know, fans are, of course, invested in their schools, but they have a lot of league pride as well, Kyle. And all this talk about the SEC this year, how do you think the Big Ten teams will fare in the big dance?
They stack up pretty well, Tommy. You know, I think the SEC is obviously going to get a lot of hype because they could set a record for teams going into the NCAA tournament. But look at the league from top to bottom. It's very impressive, Tommy, with Purdue, Michigan State, Michigan, you know, Wisconsin. The top of this league is very well represented. I think they could have multiple teams going to the second weekend, multiple teams that will be in the mix to make a Final Four. You know, it's been several decades now since the Big Ten has won a national championship. This could be a year where things actually change. Michigan State positioned to potentially earn a number 2 seed. Wisconsin and Michigan right now projected as 3 seeds, according to Jerry Palm. We'll find out more what the selection committee views the top of this league here in a few minutes. But, yeah, the top of this league, I think, is very, very strong and positioned to make a real run during the NCAA tournament this spring.
All right. Kyle Boone joining us here with the very latest on HQ. Boone, certainly appreciate it. Great stuff this weekend. A reminder, it's coming soon. Minutes away from the selection show in the men's bracket, CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Giddy up.